Welcome to Forehead Kiss with Jade and Alyssa. Mwah! Right on the forehead.
Welcome back, you guys.
Hello. Welcome back to Forehead Kiss with
Jade
and Alyssa.
Woo!
That's me. Woo! Thank you so much to everyone who has reached out to us about our first episode.
Yes, thank you so much. We love all the little comments from our friends and our family, and we hope you enjoyed it.
Our new YouTube friends.
Our friends on YouTube, thank you.
Thank you so much. If you guys have not yet listened to our first episode on First Kisses, we'll put the link in the description.
Down below. She'll be
Down
there.
below. She will be. We'll make sure of it.
So, Alyssa, how's your week going?
I mean, it's going okay. I'm actually a little nervous about making this podcast.
Oh, that's so sad.
Why are you a little nervous?
Because my dog ate all my notes.
What?
No, that sounds fake. You're just not prepared.
I promise you, Clem ate all my notes, and I don't have anything to talk about this episode.
This is a bad situation.
Do you know what that kind of reminds me of, though?
What does that remind you of, Jade?
The segue into we are talking about college and getting prepared for it.
School. The old excuse, my dog ate my homework. You can't use it anymore because in college, nobody gives a
Crab apple.
No one cares if your dog ate your homework. And more specifically, don't have your dog in your dorm.
Yeah, you usually aren't allowed unless they're a support animal.
Yes, we support the support animals.
We support it all. I support dogs in dorms in general.
Honestly, animals in dorms in general. It's so good.
Okay, Jade. So, basically what we're going to talk about this episode is obviously college, just like some common misconceptions, I guess, because we both sort of gone off the beaten path.
Absolutely. You went to a private college, pursued your dreams in like an artistic major.
Right.
I took a step back. I went to community and worked my way up from there. So I guess they're two generally, as you said, off the beaten path of what media publicizes to be the regular college experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we'll just go into the colleges, a broad general description. Yep. I go to Emerson College, which is in Boston. We also have a campus in the Netherlands. We have a castle. And we have a campus in Hollywood, which I'm supposed to be going to next year. I am getting a BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts, in Comedic Arts, and what that basically entails is a degree in writing, performing, and producing comedy. All of which I feel like obviously, I have my problems with Emerson, but I do feel like I've grown a lot in those three aspects.
Absolutely.
What about you, Jade?
I went to community college for my first 3 years, actually, somewhere in San Diego called Miracosta College, and I live and swear by that school. Mm-hmm. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do right out the gate from high school. I almost went to Emerson, but it was just too much monetary value to not know what I wanted to pursue and move across the country. It's just not justified. So Absolutely. I stayed behind, went to community college, got my associate's degree in history, actually. And in the community college, that's where I decided I wanted to be a teacher or a professor. And now, coming this fall, I'm going to be attending UCLA and as a history major. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And it was so cool to see you, go through the process. Jade got into so many freaking schools. And I only applied to 2 colleges, so it was really
You
awesome.
got into both of those colleges, and you loved both of them, though.
It's true. I don't regret a thing.
Absolutely.
So I guess we can sort of move on to like our application slash audition
Yeah.
process, and sort of like a how-to. And we can sort of like start by saying that when Jade and I were seniors in high school, we took a college apps class that was sort
Honestly, a
of,
mistake.
it was a really big mistake. It was a waste of a, well, no, it wasn't a waste because Jade and I did a singing competition and we would prepare our songs every day during the class.
It was
instead of
perfect
focusing.
rehearsal space.
It really was. We
It was a
could
good
roam.
time. We were able to like eat food, go on BuzzFeed and take quizzes,
We took so many quizzes.
sing our little hearts out.
Sing harmonies to Aladdin.
Oh, that's so true. But I genuinely feel like I did not gain any sort of knowledge from that class. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
they tried to teach about budgeting. They gave you time to do the application, which was the only beneficial part of that class, is that you got like an extra hour out of your school day to do your application. But once it's done, there's nothing to do for the rest of the semester.
It was a glorified free period, and when you already have another free period, you don't really need it. And like, you only did the Common App, right? Like
I only did the
time.
I only did the Common App.
And the Common App is so early, and we did everything like early action, so it really like, even especially for us, like we were done and then just sitting in the
just
class.
hanging out, making new friends.
It might not be like that at every school, but I did not learn.
Yeah, absolutely. But what are some takeaways that you do have from like the application process that you got maybe outside of that class? Like when you were doing the Common App?
Absolutely. So I was in ACT tutoring, which was going well. And then I couldn't make any of the ACT dates for I don't even remember why. But luckily the new SAT, I don't know if this is still true, but a couple of years ago it was true. The new SAT and the ACT are really, really similar.
Yes.
So I was able to sort of retrain my brain for the new
rewire it, reconfigure it.
And I took it, and it was fine because I knew that I was either going to be doing comedy or I was going to be doing musical theater, and that it mattered, but it didn't matter.
Absolutely.
That much.
Yeah.
Like, it mattered that I had an okay score, but at the time I was not really focused on my academics. I was more focused on like my improv team, which sounds so so bad.
But something that you focused on probably more on your application was your creative application, if you want to go into that too.
Yes, absolutely. So I did my SAT. I applied to 2 schools, early action. Columbia College, which is in Chicago, that's a rolling application. So you can just basically like send it in whenever. And Emerson, just early action. I forget when I submitted, but on time, because that's where I go. For Emerson, I had to prepare a video audition, just anything to do with.
Listen, the Zoom cut out. Just be cool about it. This is Alyssa DeVries, and basically what the part that cut out is I just say that I wrote a song for my college audition, a comedic song.
Then I sort of revamped it with my vocal coach, and it was sort of like a comedic song inspired by famous musicals about why I wanted to go to college.
Totally.
And I wrote 2 versions of it, one about Emerson and one about Columbia College. Yeah. And then I think the song is about 3 minutes, and I filled the final 2 minutes with performances from my reel, because we had done like a lot of theater, and clips of me doing improv. So that was like, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't too difficult. I didn't have to like go out and audition.
No, totally.
I just put a green screen in my kitchen and was able to do my college auditions.
Yeah, but when you do watch it, like your college audition and like the video you made, you can absolutely see why you go to your college. Like, it is your passion.
Yeah.
And you've showed it.
it was definitely pandering. Like, the video was definitely made for, like, 40-year-old people. Like, when I watch it, I don't I'm not like, this is my best work.
My
but
niche work.
It got me into college, and that's all that matters.
Totally.
Jay, do you want to talk about your process doing the college apps twice?
Oh my God, yeah. So first time around when I was in high school, I just thought I wanted to go into like journalism, literature at Emerson College in Boston. But so
Initiate Robot Jade.
I applied early actions
Robot Jade. Complete.
similar to Alyssa. I did like the regular 3 like essays you do for early action, for your common application, submitted those. After a while, scrapped that idea. We just decided we couldn't do it. I couldn't go.
Right.
So down the line, I also took the SAT, but a fun fact about community college, everything you did previous to community college gets like X'd out. It's totally disappears.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that until you told me, and I should have, because my sister went to 2 different community colleges.
It's like a little unknown type fact that like you don't have to take the SAT, you don't have to take the ACT. The only thing that really matters is your AP testing, because it saves you money down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's really awesome.
It's amazing. I literally did not know about that until I stepped in the doors and I was talking to a counselor and I was asking about my ACT, SAT, all these test scores, and it just did not matter. But from that point on, it makes you feel like really good because you have a fresh start in everything you want to do. Like, you have time to reinvent yourself as a student, which is entirely what I did. Because in high school, I was all about extracurriculars because at the time, especially at our high school, that's what life is.
It was an arts high school, and we cared so much to like a scary, like, I don't understand how people weren't scared of me in high school.
I know people probably were scared of us, but like you only talk to people in your extracurriculars. Like that was the thing. So once I got to like community college, all that went away and I only thought about my grades and kind of like clubs and just people I wanted to associate myself with. Mm-hmm. So I highly recommend going into an honors program at your community college and just like dedicating yourself to learning who you are and what you want. And so after that, I did the UC application, pretty straightforward. And I did the CSU application, pretty straightforward once again. Mm-hmm. And with the help of community college, I got into 8 out of 9 schools and I was waitlisted at Berkeley.
Honestly, like, it's an amazing path for people who aren't sure exactly what they want to do. Like, I absolutely would have done it if I wasn't like, I need to do my major.
Absolutely. And it's also like a great path if you do know what you want to do, but you couldn't really get there on the first try, because going in from high school, it's so competitive. Going in as a transfer, you kind of have a little leg up over the competition because they understand that you can take on kind of like the college courses and you already have that type of knowledge in you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of like community college in a way.
We love it. And we're right on time. I am timing us right now on my Animal Crossing New Horizons account. I don't know how to end the timer, but my sound's off, so it doesn't matter.
So it's all good.
It's totally fine. So Jade and I have decided that partway through our episodes in the future, starting today, we are going to do segments,
like a bit
just
of the
whatever we want. Yes, just whatever we want. And during the planning of this podcast, we were talking a lot about, were we talking about the song American Pie or the movie American Pie?
We were talking about both, but I think it got brought up through the movie because we were both like, wow, this is a coming of age film, applies to growing up in college.
Anybody who knows me knows that I love the American Pie film franchise. I do stand up about it all the time. I think it's a masterpiece. And so Jade and I have invented a little game. I will be facilitating the game, and Jade will be playing the game.
Yes,
and
yes.
I've put a lot of research into this. The game is American Pie or American Pie.
Is this American Pie or is this American Pie? The movie or the song, they're both American Pie. Is it American Pie or American Pie? American Pie or American Pie?
The rules are simple. I give you a concept, and you'll have to tell me if it's American Pie the movie or American Pie the song. It will only be based on concepts within the first movie. So it's only the first movie. You don't have to worry about like
the original.
It's only the original, the one where he, with the pie. For movie, you say movie. And for song, you say song. And at the end, if you win, Jade, I'm going to Venmo you $1.
A full $1?
Yes, but Jade, if you lose, I'm going to request $1.
Okay.
Because
I'll pay it. I lost because I
wasted my time.
I wasted your time. I wasted the listeners' time.
You absolutely did. Okay, Jade,
yes.
Are you ready to play American Pie or American Pie?
I am ready to play American Pie or American Pie, Alyssa.
Okay, let's begin. There's no time limit. We're going to start.
Perfect.
The first one.
Okay.
Making love to an apple pie.
Movie.
That was quick, and you were right. The first one was easy.
Yes, that's a giveaway.
Good work, Jade. You get 1 point.
Thank you.
Okay. Second one.
Oh man.
A romance with an older woman.
Oh no. It has to be movie. I don't remember it in the song.
It is the movie. Stifler's mom. If you
also
remember.
I have like a fun tidbit. I don't know. I only know the synopsis of the movie, and I've never seen it, so we shall continue.
Well, obviously, Stifler's mom is played by the great Jennifer Coolidge. She's an Emerson alum.
Oh, she's great.
She's fantastic. Okay. Practicing music in the park.
Well, if it's music, it has to be music.
Okay, well, you're right, but for the wrong reasons.
Oh, no.
So, in the movie American Pie, Heather and Oz are in jazz choir.
Yes.
But they don't practice in the park. They practice in the music room. But in the song American Pie, the marching band is in the park.
Yes.
Okay.
We love all 7 minutes of that song.
Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
2 more.
Okay.
Seeing the girl you like dancing in the gym.
Oh, song, music.
Jade, I tricked you. It's both.
What?
It's both. Because prom is in the gym. And the whole point of American Pie is they want to lose their virginity by prom.
Oh.
But it's both. But it's the only one you've gotten wrong, and I didn't tell you that was part of the game.
That's okay.
I wanted to be sneaky.
That's okay. I deserved it.
Okay. The last one.
Yes.
Playing football.
Oh no. You just had a very demure look on your face. Oh no.
This one I did. I won't say anything more.
I'm trying to think of all the lyrics of American Pie in my head.
It's such a long song.
I know. I'm just trying to speed think of them because I don't know the movie, so I'm just basing all my knowledge off of the song. But I just assume since they are in high school, there has to be, and if there's prom, there has to be a football team. But oh no, I'll just guess movie.
You're wrong!
Oh no!
In the movie, they play lacrosse like real men.
Oh, wait, when was this movie taking place? When was lacrosse invented?
Here's the thing. Lacrosse, I think, was invented a long time ago. I don't know.
Okay,
but
that's okay.
They were probably just trying to be offbeat. I know in Teen Wolf, they played lacrosse.
Oof.
I think it was like mid 2000s.
Correction, the movie came out in 1999, and I'm honestly so sorry for the misunderstanding.
I think in a couple of the later films there was football, like within the college franchise, but in the first movie it was lacrosse because Oz and Stifler were on the lacrosse team, and Oz had to leave because his girlfriend, well, she wasn't his girlfriend yet, but
Not
they were
yet.
jazz choir together, Heather. He had to like go perform in the middle of his big lacrosse game for love.
Oh, that's kind of like Troy Bolton. Maybe
Did
High School Musical
rip off American Pie? Did we just uncover something?
Facts. Did Zac Efron even sing in the first one?
No, it was Drew Seeley.
That's true.
And he was also the one that did the tour. But Jade, I am happy to inform you that you have won American Pie.
Viewers, I get $1. The viewers at home do not get $1, but I get $1. So
Jade gets $1. You can buy a lollipop. You can buy a silly band. I don't care, but it's your dollar to spend.
Oh, I'll get dang, I haven't heard silly band in a while. But you want to know what? Silly bands are my favorites.
They're your favorites?
Yeah, they're some of my favorite things in the entire world.
I didn't know that about you.
No, like they are, but some other favorite things, like to me in the entire world, are history classes and just the classes I've taken at community college in general.
I see what you did.
Isn't that kind of clever?
I'm starting the Animal Crossing timer right now.
A little clever. So that little segue was to tell you, audience, that we are going into kind of the third part of this podcast, which is what are our favorite classes that we've taken at college so far. Alyssa, start us off because you've taken some crazy classes.
Yes. Okay. I think my most favorite classes were two that I took freshman year, just because I think like I was so in a space to learn because I had gone through high school and I always liked school fine, but I was never super passionate and I wasn't very invested. But when I was finally able to study what I wanted to study, I am now a straight A student, America.
It changes literally everything when you study what you're passionate.
Because
absolutely.
I only had to take one science class and no math. Can you believe it?
Oh, that's the dream.
Liberal arts, baby.
Liberal arts, baby.
But my favorite classes, I took a class called Love and Eroticism, which wasn't as sexy as it sounded, but was so cool. My professor had a PhD in this.
Her name was Amy Arupula, and we studied literature
at different times throughout American history. Not even American history, just history in general, because we read Freud and we read like Socrates, just like a ton of stuff. And sort of how people in society viewed love and eroticism at the time. It was super interesting, and you basically got to like formulate your own opinions on what love was at different times throughout history. You would have loved it, Jade. You would have loved it. It sounds
so like badass. Like it sounds
so cool. We read this amazing book called Music for Torching, I think was the name of it. And it was like the only like super modern book that we read, and it was about this suburban family. It felt very Big Little Lies. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it.
Wait, show.
Yes, HBO. It's so hard to know. They're so long.
It's so long. Mini-series.
And then also just the intro, like improv class that I took freshman year. Just because my professor, and she just made me feel really comfortable. I had done a lot of improv, and so I was not very excited to take the class because I didn't want to relearn.
Intro, yeah.
Yeah, but I had just become really bonded with the class, and it was my first performance class that I got to take at college. So it totally changed my performance style and the way I improvised, because I always used to tend to improvise in like male characters to like make myself feel confident. And I learned how to improvise like as a woman.
And
then my least favorite was my intro to ethics class, because my teacher kept giving me C's until I started quoting her directly in my papers. Like, she didn't want you to formulate any of your own opinions, and she made us write an essay on Groundhog Day. Why?
Why? We get it. We love Groundhog Day. Good movie from like
Good
the
movie.
80s. Yeah.
I don't think that I should have to write a paper
On Groundhog Day.
on Groundhog Day, on one
Especially
of the Ghostbusters.
Especially for like ethics as a class.
I know. I was excited for the class, and then it was silly. Elizabeth, why?
I think that just kind of goes hand in hand with the idea that like your favorite class, like as you said, had one of your favorite female professors that you bonded really well with, and then your least favorite class had a professor that was not trash, but just felt
she's
no,
she's a street rat. No,
she's
she
not
just
she
just didn't care about her students.
And you can sense that as a student. If a professor does not care about you also being passionate in learning the subject at your own like pace, it shows. Like it literally shows so much.
All she did was talk about her son's heavy metal band, and I was like, this might be sick if I respected you, but you don't respect me.
If I respected you, maybe I'd consider giving his EP a listen.
But I won't. There's too many SoundClouds out there nowadays.
That's so true.
Jade, do you want to like go into why it's important, like the professors are important?
Oh, okay. Yes. This is something that this is something
Jade is really passionate.
I am so passionate. Like, let's just put it here, in high school and just all my previous studies, I believed I hated certain subjects. Like, I believed that I was either bad at them or that I hated them. But when you get to college and you actually meet some, like, I'm not saying all my high school like teachers made me feel this way, because sometimes even professors that you run into make you feel bad about a subject.
Of course.
Yes. But there are some professors that literally changed my perception of an entire subject, like history and math. I thought I was bad at history. I thought that I just couldn't hold all the information in my head. I didn't find it interesting. It wasn't until I met multiple professors in college that I reviewed first on Rate My Professors. A lot of people flame that website because by a lot of people, I mean a lot of professors flame that website because it is student-based. So only students can rate a professor, and you have to like sign in with like you're saying what college you go to and like what grade you are to like affirm that you are a student there. And then like some kids like go off. There's like little emojis associated with professors, like people rate a professor based on like chili peppers. So
my God.
So you can give like a professor, if they're like really flaming hot, like awesome at their subject, like 5 chili peppers. And I've like dropped 5 chili peppers in my day, but I've also like given them an ice cube. Like, you know.
Course. It's so important to be honest. Like, I don't go on Rate My Professor because for my major, I really only have like a couple of professor options, usually only one professor option. But I'm very respectfully honest in my end of semester reviews of the class because I don't want younger people than me to have to like go through bad things if they don't have to.
I absolutely agree. That applies to my second statement about how to find your perfect professor or a great professor for you.
Right.
Please, like, other students and peers your age, they don't care if you ask them about a professor that they've taken. Like, a lot, from my experience, if you just find someone in like the same like school or major as you and you generally ask them like of the professors they've taken, they don't mind, and they definitely won't hold back because they understand why you're asking those questions. Like, they also want you to know whether a professor is good or not, because honestly, that makes or breaks your entire experience for a class.
It's so true. Like, even if the subject matter is the most interesting thing in the world, if your professor is not going to work with you or like for you, not put in the work, then it's not going to be a good class.
They're just against, like, they're not against you, but like it's not work. Like,
they basically are against.
They're
you.
against
like,
you.
I hate professors that are like, I don't give A's.
No, yeah.
To get an A, you need to do work that merits an A. I'm like, I should get a B for showing up.
I'm working my booty off.
But also, like, I hold myself to, like, and you do too, and probably a lot of our listeners hold themselves to, like, a high academic standard. So, like, when I'm saying I'm just showing up, like, I'm doing all of my work to the best of my abilities.
No,
I should get a B at least for that.
Just by showing up, participating, like, valuing the course, and just showing some ounce of passion in whatever work you do put in. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, a Michelin star type work every single time. Like, as long as you're doing the minimum and just showing that you're there, that's all that really matters. And professors should respect that. And a lot of professors do respect that you are taking time and money. That's an important thing. You are paying for your education at this point in your life. Like, you're always paying for your education, but more specifically, directly out of pocket, not out of tax, you are most likely paying a hefty load for those classes.
And what this means is the classes should be good and should be held to a high standard, but you also have to hold yourself to a standard.
Absolutely.
It's all about mutual respect.
Yes.
I just can't stand when professors aren't respectful.
No, yes, because, like, I'm a human too, and I'm here for, like, I like to believe that everyone is there at college for the right reasons. Like, the right reasons that, like, you understand you're putting in the money, you're putting in the effort. You want to be there as much as, like, a professor should, and a professor should want to be there to teach you, or to at least, like, enlighten something in you.
I absolutely agree, Jade.
Yeah. But don't take professors on Rate My Professor that are, like, easy. Because you want to get your money's worth.
You want to have a nice challenge, but you want to feel impassioned to take on that challenge.
Absolutely. Yeah. But with that, as we're saying, like, don't take a light load, challenge yourself. There are some aspects that are challenging that aren't just school related, but it's the balance of life, social life, activities, and school. And Alyssa, you had to
oh my god.
We're on a Zoom call, and I just, like, gave Alyssa, like, at least in the viewfinder, like, a look of desperation, because like, a look of, like, dire need. She is, like, the queen of juggling, like, 30 different she looks so stressed. I promise you, she is the queen of juggling 30 different important tasks. Alyssa, just, like, we'll have, like, an open flow conversation.
Yeah, okay.
Like, what is to you, like, the balance of schoolwork, social life, just because everyone always talks about, like, how can I have a social life while putting in all my heart to school? Or sometimes a lot of people have jobs. Like, how do you feel about just, like, the balance?
Okay, so I guess I want to start with saying that your priorities will shift depending on the year you are, depending on what's going on at any given moment. And you need to sort of make your peace with that, because if you're trying to, like, make everything your top priority at the same time, it just isn't going to happen. Things will fall, and you need to, like, a lot of things that I do are, like, ensemble based. And so it's like about making the people around you aware of what other tasks you're doing. I mean, probably the worst year of it for me was, I guess, like, I have, like, one semester a year that's, like, horrible.
Yep.
Not, like, horrible, like, I'm not, like, sad, but I'm just, like, really, like, don't shower and, like, eat a lot of, like, chicken strips.
Because you're, like, you're going for it.
I'm going. I'm gunning for the championship. Freshman year, I worked around 40 hours a week with a full course load, going to parties, on a comedy troupe, and I was in love.
She was in love. I was in love with everything.
I was never home. So that was, I think that for me, the first thing that I cut down was my job.
Yeah.
Because I understand that not everybody can do this, and I'm so privileged to be able to do this. But since I'm at such an expensive college, my mom was really cool in the fact that she was like, yes, try to work. You need to like learn to like work for what you get. And I was like, absolutely. Yes, I'm down for that. But she was like, if it ever gets too much for you, like you, like, if you need to, you can quit. If you need to, you can cut your hours and we will figure it out, because it's more important that you get your degree right now.
Yeah.
Again, understand that not everybody can do it. But as the years like went by, as I went into sophomore year, junior year, into senior year, I tended to start working, because my job was retail. I worked at Anthropology. I started working less and less because I was getting bigger positions within the school.
And by like cutting down on that, you were pursuing your actual field that you wanted to
that will get
in.
me more money in the future, because I will have the positions that qualify me to get actual jobs. I was president of my comedy troupe. That was a big priority, because like even when I wasn't president, I was social media, I was treasurer, I did some videographer type duties.
Doing some animation, a little mixing up.
I was vice president for a while. I did it all. I also executive produced a festival for sophomore year and my senior year. I'm graduating early, so the years are kind of blurred.
They're like mushed.
But I think the main thing that I want to emphasize is focusing on your mental health.
Yes.
Because you're not going to be able to do anything if you cannot get out of bed. So you gotta like feed yourself, and you gotta make sure that you're okay so that you can do your duties. Yeah. And every year I prioritize.
That was okay.
Every year I prioritize trying to learn a new skill. Freshman year I really focused on sketch writing because I'd never done that before. And then once I felt I was like good at it, I was like, cool. Sophomore year, I was focusing on stand-up comedy, and I did like a summer program for that. I also was focusing, and then partway through sophomore year into junior year, I've been really working on animation, animated sketch comedy, and learning video editing. I'm also editing our podcast with my skills. I love to edit, and I also like sophomore year started trying to learn producing because I'd done like a bit of directing, a bit of assistant directing, and I love leadership positions. So producing is really crazy and so neat. And live producing is what I really like. Like I produced a festival, so that was
it was so cool,
really beneficial. I also prioritized throughout it all, prioritized friendship, because people that I formed bonds with, I created the most comedy with.
No, absolutely.
Like, these people, like, are going to have your back. Like, my mom is still friends with some of her friends from college, and I know it doesn't always work out that way, but, like, these people are going to, like, have your back at least for 4
years.
4-ish years.
Yeah.
And, like, one of my best friends that I met, like, we are, like, going to live together, and we write comedy together, and we really, like, balance each other out. So if you're in a creative field, you might find, like, your partner.
Yeah, like that balance, just kind of like that other half of you. Because like in college, like just as you said, like that's kind of where you discover what type of support system you need, which is very beautiful.
I knew I wanted to do comedy, but I had never written anything before, and now I know that I want to write specifically for myself.
Yes.
Because I know my voice now so well.
Yep. That's so, like, that's beautiful, and that's something that, like, you wouldn't have been able to do unless if you deemed that as important, like, amongst everything else.
And I auditioned for all the comedy troupes my first semester at college and didn't get in, and I cried for a day, but then I was like, why didn't I get in? I know my performance skills are up to par, but I've never written anything before. I'm spending the year, I'm learning to write. I wrote like 1 million sketches over winter break, and then I got in easily next semester.
Yeah, and then you became president of that troupe.
Yes.
Yeah. Just a little. Just a little. Sprinkle on top.
Yeah, that troupe, my comedy troupe changed my life. Love you guys, Emerson Comedy Workshop.
Shout out. I love watching your guys' sketches.
Yeah, that's basically all I have to say on that. Just really do what you can all the time and make sure that you are okay.
Yeah, just bringing it back to you as a person will grow and change so freaking much
Yeah.
while you are like, just like the ages from not even like 17, but like 18 to maybe like 25, you will be an absolutely different person
I
from
am
18 to
completely
25.
different. I am completely different, and a lot of it is because I utilized the college's resources. I
Yes.
learned how to edit videos, I learned how to animate, I learned like so much, and there are so many people who don't utilize the resources within their colleges. Like there are a ton of people within my major who aren't on troops, who don't actively write, don't actively perform, don't actively like cultivate their skill set. And I just like, if you're spending, like, private colleges are so expensive, I'm paying money out of my booty, and
Money is literally flowing out of my buttocks into the pockets of the president of Emerson College.
Jeez Louise, Lee Pelton, what a guy. And I mean, it's liberal arts schools and colleges have so many issues, but while you're there, you just gotta suck them dry.
Suck them dry, take the resources, make
Do
it a
what you
desert.
can.
Yeah, but like as you mentioned with going to a private college, like we would just want to talk about like that non-traditional path. Like what is it versus a state school, you know? What is it like to you, like going to a private college, getting maybe more specific look into your major, or like specific like study abroads? Like what do you feel about like a private college?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I don't have a quad, which was disappointing because we're right in the heart of Boston. But they are putting in a communal bench on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Yeah. Private college is, I mean, I think the social aspect is pretty different. It's a lot less party-y, I would say. Like, there are still parties, of course. Don't worry. But people are a lot more focused on what they want to do. Like, my school is a big film school, so people are spending a lot of their weekends on set, and then you party after.
And you party after you film.
You party after. It's very, very expensive. I know that state schools can be too, but my school specifically, I have one of the few scholarships, and it is not very much at all. So I had to do a lot of finding scholarships outside of the college, just like scholarships in life, which takes a lot of research. So I will be in debt. My major is super offbeat. It is the only BFA in comedy. I know there's a BA program and a couple of minor programs. So I think if you're paying to go to college, you should do what you want to do if you can. I know that some people's parents won't let them. There are outside circumstances that you can't. But if you have the privilege, absolutely take advantage of that, and I feel incredibly lucky.
Yeah, you're probably never gonna get like the opportunity to do something like this ever again. Like the chance to go
absolutely
to like
not.
Yeah, the chance to like go to a school that's so specific and has exactly what you love. I feel like that's a huge benefit of like specifically your school, private liberal arts schools.
Of course, yeah.
Like that's amazing.
You really do get to refine your skills if you put in the effort to do it.
Yes.
And it's hard because the major is really broad because it is the writing, performing, producing, but it works for me because I really wanted to learn it all, because you never see, in my eyes, you never see a comedian that just does one thing. So I wanted to be sure that I could learn everything. It doesn't work for everybody, but it worked for me. I was able to study abroad in London and go to the Edinburgh Festival Fringe and learn stand-up, which was really neat. And I did not take a single AP test, and because of studying abroad, I did in the summer, I am graduating a semester early without any AP tests.
Which is so cool.
So it's actually less expensive at Emerson if you do a summer program.
Yeah, and you get to
literally
live in London for a month.
Yeah, I lived in London for a month. It was so neat.
Oh my God.
I went
so
to
sick.
so many pubs. It was awesome.
You went to the Paddington Museum.
Oh my god, the Paddington shop. I can't. It was so. That bear blows me away.
I love him. I would give my life for him.
I would give him a kidney.
Good.
Jay, do you want to talk about sort of being a transfer student?
Yeah, totally. So I guess like for some of my major points, I'll just like not gloss over this, but like I'll do a little sprinkle here and there.
Yeah.
Being a transfer student, one of the best and like most privileged things I got out of it was I am 3 years into college. I only have about 1.5 to 2 years left. I have absolutely zero student loans.
Yes.
Like, yes, I literally, for a semester at the college I go to, the community college I go to, it is maximum about $1,500 for that semester. Maximum.
So what we've learned is that I will be moving in with Jade.
So what we have learned is that Alyssa will be with me in my 2-bedroom apartment
I will be
someday.
sleeping on her couch.
So I will keep her safe. It's all good. Yes. So that's like a big one for me that I am really proud of. The second one is that you have a lot of
Are you just imagining me curled up at the foot of your bed?
I'm just imagining you like purring like a little cat at the foot of my bed, and like every morning like I wake you up and hand you a little cup of tea and you go, "Thank you." That's all you say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I lose my ability to speak when I move in.
Yeah, you only speak if you do in soliloquies. That's all you do.
That's pretty close to how I am now.
That's so true. Okay. So the second thing that I really love about community college, as I mentioned earlier, so I'll just gloss over this, you have time to find what you love. You have time, you have resources, you have a support system at your community college, I assure you, if you look for it, to find what you love. Another thing that I think is super important about like going to a community college is that you have the opportunity, kind of similar to a private college, you have smaller lecture halls. So you have the chance to you have the chance to get really close to the professors that are there. And I promise you, there's some of world-class professors, at least where I went. I've had professors that at the same time at teaching that community college, they were also teaching at huge institutions in California, like at UCSD, UCLA, and they would commute back and forth between the community college and the giant UCs. So make connections with your professors, because they teach usually at community colleges, yes, for work, but because they're really passionate about,
because they care
and they're really passionate about that group that is at community college. So by taking advantage of your professors and the resources you have, also take advantage of the honors program if you are able to and have the time to, because the honors program, wherever you go, I assure you, they have a giant sister school connected to that community college. Most places do. So by taking the honors program and just devoting my time into that field, my sister school to my smaller community college is UCLA. So if you put the time in and the effort, you can transfer to a big school like UCLA, and most times into that honors program, since they're in tandem and sister schools.
That's so smart.
It's amazing. It's something that I didn't know until I went to community college, and something alongside like honors programs that you can do at your community college, and they really encourage you to do this, and professors want to work with you on this, is devoting your time to refining your skills in research projects. And I assure you, your community college or local libraries, they will always hold conferences where you actually get to practice the skill of like going up in front of a bunch of professors and a panel and getting like good criticism and like good feedback on something you work on for probably like a year with your professor. And you get to like present your research in a poster or a slide, or you make your own lecture, and it's amazing. like, it's an experience that I will never forget.
That is fantastic. And I mean, my major is different, but I've never been able to do that at my private college. Like, there are very rare opportunities for me to get real, like, intense feedback for my work from professors. So, I mean, there are definitely pros and cons to both, but that is awesome. And I would kill for something like that.
No, yeah, there's absolutely pros and cons. Like, a con that a lot of people do worry about with community colleges is like a huge stigma against them, because you literally, like, I have never seen a positive reflection of community college in just like mass media. Like,
Yeah.
community college, like, it's really based on like where you live, the economic status of like the area you are in. But at least where we live, no one talks about it, or people like shit on it. People
Yeah,
like,
or they just disregard it. Like, they're just like, oh, they're going to like community college for 2 years. Okay. Like,
yeah,
it's not like a big exciting thing, because college is like a very big exciting thing where we're from. Like, we're really like lucky in a way that like we're so encouraged to like seek out education.
yeah.
But it also is like people that are taking slightly different paths are sort of like looked down on, especially because our high school was so academically rigorous.
Yeah, it was very much, if you aren't going to a UC or a Stanford or a Harvard, it wasn't important. Wow, like, everyone's college journey and experience is super important. But like, the last little tidbit of like a con, I guess, this is the last con I'll say about community college, is like the FOMO, the fear of missing out of like the college experience. But as I just said, every college experience is literally so niche, like based on the state, based on like the school area in that state, based on like your major. Everyone is experiencing completely different types of college experience. So there's no one college experience. And if you really want to think of the, like, I'm never gonna be able to like go to the parties or like be able to have like that first dorm room experience, I assure you, you do. Mostly at all colleges, they want your transfers. You can stay in the hall only full of transfers, so it feels like a freshman hall, but it's a transfer hall.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
dorms kind of are dumb anyways. And
Yeah.
that's the truth. The beds are too tall and too small.
The beds are too tall and the room's too
And
small.
it's also like college is so glorified. Like, I did not hate college by any means, but I had really enjoyed it, and I learned so much, and I grew as a person a lot. But like, I don't think it's my peak. I think my peak is going to be when I'm 50 in a Broadway revival.
Good.
It's not right now.
Yeah, so like, I guess like the little bow on top of everything we've been saying today is like the statement, like, you get like, oh, how do you say this? Like, what you
put into it is what you get out of it. We both have put so much of ourselves into the college and sort of taken advantage of both of our very different situations. And I mean, while it hasn't always been perfect, we have taken the steps that we needed to I don't know, live a life.
Yeah, absolutely. College is just like, think of it like you're at a pool. This is like the jumping off point of like diving into the pool, which is like the rest of your life. College is not the rest of your life. It is merely like, if you're just doing like the regular college experience, it's like 5 years maximum, like 2.5 years minimum. That is nothing of your life. It's just it's the starting point.
It's a jumping off point. It's to prepare you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And it does
in
a way. It does in a way, but also, like, not to say that not going to college doesn't prepare you. Living your life more years prepares you, and you should go if you feel empowered.
Yeah, and absolutely. That's about it. College and anything, just do what your passion is and follow towards that. College just happened to be the topic of which we felt passionate about to
because
talk
we
about.
both have had sort of like interesting experiences, offbeat experiences.
Offbeat.
We thought we could impart some wisdom.
Yeah, so with everything happening, we just wanted to make this episode to inform a couple people of other options they've got.
Yeah, there's so many people that are going off to college, and we're proud of you.
We are proud. And so, on that note, this has been Forehead Kiss with Jade
and Alyssa.
Congratulations, graduates of 2020.